Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Family Law Talk.
Family Law Talk.
Presented by Kirk Stange of Stange Law Firm, PC, with offices in the Midwest. Stange Law Firm is a family law firm. Now, here's your host, Kirk Stange.
Welcome to Family Law Talk. We have an interesting topic today. The topic is this, which is risks of bringing others into initial consultation. So let's jump on into the topic itself. Obviously, when a party is going through a divorce or family law matter, one of the most important first steps a party has to take is to find an attorney to represent them in their divorce or family law matter. And obviously, the decision in terms of what attorney to hire is a big decision. It's certainly an important decision. And individuals want to make sure that they hire somebody that they're comfortable with, somebody who's knowledgeable about the area of law in terms of their case, and that the attorney has really the time and the energy and the ability to really help them in terms of walking them through the process and getting them through what is really a difficult time for a lot of parties when they're going through a divorce or family law matter. And ultimately, parties want to be able to move on with their lives. So at the end of the case, parties are hoping they can move on with their life, and their family as well can move on with their life. And so individuals, when they're looking for an attorney, obviously end up interviewing an attorney to try to find somebody who's the right fit for them. And this typically takes place in an initial consultation. Now, some individuals might meet one attorney, feel comfortable with that one attorney, hire that attorney, and move on. Obviously, some individuals might meet several attorneys before they make the decision in terms of who they hire to represent them in their divorce or family law matter. Now, in terms of making this decision, lots of individuals are really looking for moral support. They might be looking for a second opinion from somebody else who can help guide them through the situation or the circumstance in terms of giving their opinion or their views in terms of the attorney and whether or not they think the attorney is a good fit for them. And so what lots of individuals are really tempted to do when they're going through divorce or family law matter is bring friends or family members with them to the initial consultation, in essence, to help them interview the attorney and then give their opinion in terms of whether the attorney is a good fit for them or not a good fit for them. And in saying that, certainly, the rationale in terms of bringing trusted friends or family members with them makes a lot of sense. You certainly can't blame a party for wanting to do that. I think with big decisions in life, it's really common for individuals to, to bounce, their thoughts, their ideas off other trusted people in their life and get the opinion of these other individuals. Right, I think that's common. I think that's normal. I think most people do that in all kinds of areas in their life outside of even family law and divorce litigation, right? You just get second opinions from others that are close to you and see what they think. And certainly that's a good thing to do. It's certainly not a bad thing. And I think for anybody, having a mentor or trusted friends or family members in your life is really crucial in terms of just getting through hard decisions, difficult decisions, and then having the ability to really move forward. But in saying that, when an individual is meeting with a divorce or family law attorney, there really is some risk involved in terms of bringing individuals into the actual initial consultation with the attorney. And it's important for parties to really understand that and get that, and then ultimately make the decision that they need to make in terms of what they want to do. And so here's the deal. When an individual meets an attorney and talks about matters related to their life, these are confidential meetings, right? What's supposed to take place between an attorney and a potential client is supposed to be confidential. The information is supposed to be privileged. What's said by the party who's going through the divorce or family law matter, again, is not supposed to go outside the doors and the walls of the room. And on the flip end, what the attorney says to the potential client, who may turn into a client, is also supposed to be kept confidential, and it's supposed to, at the end of the day, be privileged. And so when friends or family members are brought into the room, really the issue is this, which is that friend or family law, or that friend or family member, right, they're not bound by attorney-client privilege and confidentiality, right? So that friend or family law friend, that family friend who's coming with the potential client into the room, right? They could tell others what was said, right? So they could potentially tell the other party to the case, right? They could potentially be subpoenaed, even unwillingly, and be brought into the courtroom and be asked, in terms of what was discussed, what was said, in terms of the meeting with the individual going through the divorce or family law matter. So that's really the risk. The risk is the potential waiver of attorney-client privilege and the potential waiver of confidentiality. And so lots of individuals in hearing that risk really think this, which is, look, my friend or family member is trusted. It's somebody who I confide in regularly about certain circumstances in my life, and they're not going to tell anybody, what was said, and I trust them. And look, in a lot of instances, that can make a whole lot of sense, right? That friend or family member certainly can be trusted. They can certainly be somebody who wouldn't willingly tell anybody what was said in that actual meeting. And so that can certainly be true. But again, there's a couple scenarios that any individual really needs to at least contemplate and think about before they bring these others into the initial consultation room, which is, again, one, an individual theoretically could be subpoenaed, and they could be brought into the courtroom, and they could be really questioned in terms of what took place during the consultation or the meeting, right? So even if there's somebody who can be trusted, and even if there's somebody who doesn't want to say in terms of what took place in the meeting or the initial consultation, they might end up having to do it unwillingly, right? So that is scenario one, and that is why it can be risky on a preliminary level to bring others into the initial consultation. On the flip end, what a lot of individuals don't think about and contemplate is this, which is sometimes alliances can change in the course of litigation. And this is an unfortunate thing, and it's something I know that can be hard for individuals to really contemplate. But sometimes the alliances of friends or family members can flip in the middle of the case, right? So you bring an individual into that consultation with the attorney. You bring that individual into the meeting with the attorney during a consultation, or really even otherwise, right? And let's say that individual changes alliances. Let's say you get into an argument with them, you get into a dispute with that individual yourself. Then what can happen is that individual, that friend, that family member could voluntarily disclose what was said in the initial consultation or the meeting. And so, again, this is an unfortunate circumstance. It might not be very common, right? It might not happen very often, but it certainly can happen, and there's certainly a risk that could take place. And so it's important for an individual when they're bringing friends, when they're bringing family members or others to the initial consultation or other meetings with the attorney, that they at least know this risk, and then they make the decision in terms of whether to bring that individual into the room with the attorney or not, right? Another option for a lot of individuals that they ought to at least think about or contemplate is this, which is, look, you can bring a friend or a family member to the initial consultation, right? And maybe they can meet the attorney as the attorney is walking into the consultation room with you, right? So they can shake that attorney's hand. There can be, that general meeting, and that individual can get an overall impression of the individual. But when you go into that room with the attorney, maybe it's best to leave them waiting out in the waiting room, right? Past that introduction, right? And then they can ultimately be brought back in at the end of the consultation after the confidential information has been discussed, and then theoretically you can bounce off that individual your thoughts and your impressions of the attorney, and then you've got that mentor, or you have that trusted person in there to help you make the decision about whether to hire that actual attorney or not, right? So in a lot of instances, the problem or the risk, let's say, can be alleviated by simply bringing the individual with you and then leaving them in the waiting room when you talk to the attorney. And then when you're done talking to the attorney, then you can ultimately confer with that person. But in a lot of instances, it's a lot safer to not bring them into the actual initial consultation itself, where you are saying things and the attorney is saying things which are really protected by attorney-client privilege and confidentiality. And then really on this note as well, I think for parties out there, when you're looking for a mentor, when you're looking for a trusted individual in a divorce or family law matter, obviously different individuals can look for different traits, different attributes in terms of the people they rely on. But just in a very general sense, it might be a good idea to think about finding somebody who's sort of a calming force, right? Somebody who ultimately is very rational, very level-headed, very even in terms of their approach and analysis of circumstances, because divorce and family law matters, let's face it, can be upsetting, they can be stressful, can result in grief, anguish, all kinds of emotions. And what you probably want is somebody who can help even that out, somebody who can help level that out. And what you don't want is somebody who theoretically stirs the pot more, right? If you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling angry, you're feeling upset, you've got somebody who really amplifies those feelings, right? What you ought to look for, or at least consider looking for, is somebody who is a calming force, somebody who's rational, somebody who's level-headed, somebody who will help bring you to a place where at least you feel better about the situation, and that helps bring you peace. Because at the end of the day, divorce and family law matters can be very, very stressful, and who you confide in, who you talk to, who you rely on can make a big, big difference in terms of your ability to get through a very difficult situation. All right, so that is the topic today. This topic today was based on an article we have on our blog, familylawheadquarters.com, and the title of that article is The Risks of Bringing Friends or Family into an Initial Consultation, and the date of that article is July 29, 2018. So as a follow-up to the episode today, you can go on over to familylawheadquarters.com and check out that article. Well, thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned to our next episode coming up on Family Law Talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to Family Law Talk with Kirk Stange. Visit StangeLawFirm.com for more about today's topic, or to put Stange Law Firm to work for your family today. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisements. Neither the Supreme Court of Missouri or Illinois reviews or approves certifying organizations or specialist designations. The information you obtain on this podcast is not, nor is it intended to be legal advice. You should contact an attorney for advice regarding your individual situation. We invite you to contact us and welcome your calls, letters, and electronic mail. Contacting us does not create an attorney-client relationship. Please do not send any confidential information to us until such time as an attorney-client relationship has been established. And finally, past results afford no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Kirk Stange is responsible for the content. Principal place of business, 120 South Central Avenue, Suite 450, Clayton, Missouri, 63105.
Capture life's moments like never before with Rockbrook Camera, Nebraska and Western Iowa's premier camera store since 1975. Rockbrook Camera is not just about selling you a camera. It's about helping you become a real photographer, recording your life and sharing it with others. Today's cameras are faster, easier to use, capable of shooting stunning video, and with film photography making a comeback, there's never been a better time to dive into the world of photography. Rockbrook Camera goes as fast or as slow as you want to go. You can try before you buy with camera rentals, or give that older generation camera in the used department a whole new journey. Find Rockbrook Camera, 1 block south of 168th and West Center in Omaha, 70th and Pioneers in Lincoln, and at rockbrookcamera.com. That's rockbrookcamera.com. Discover or rediscover your love of photography today at Rockbrook Camera. Great photography begins here.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.